Coronation Street just dropped a bombshell, and we're here to unpack every detail. Collision. A discussion with Will Driscoll urged Tim Metcalfe to defy the person who abused him when he was a child in Coronation Street this evening. At the launch of the week, Will colluded to leave Weatherfield for France, under the print that he was going to start a new life with Megan Walsh there. His cover story saw Will tell his family that he was moving to Scotland with his mum. He departed in Tim's hack, but plans started to change when Will's train got cancelled. Meanwhile, Ben Driscoll had discovered Will's passport was missing and managed to drill what was going on. Tim was communicated and told to not let Will out of his sight. Tim also spoke to Will about Tricia, the woman who took advantage of him when he was 14. During this period of Tim's life, he was then told that being in a relationship with a 20-time-old was wrong. It meant that Tim refused to accept Sally Metcalfe's claims that he was abused when Tricia came back onto the scene last time. Learning about what Will went through with Megan made Tim realize that Sally was right about Tricia. After Tim's converse, Will decided to go to the police station and report Megan. In this evening's occasion, Megan was questioned by DS Lisa Connor Swain and denied all of the allegations. Because Will made the report though, she was ultimately charged and taken into custody. As this was passing, Tim had decided to defy Tricia. Outside her work, Tim told Tricia that she took advantage of him when he was 14 times old. She was affrighted that Tim was criminating her of being an abuser, and said that she wouldn't accept any of his commentary. To help the discussion from going any further, Tricia claimed that she was late for work and left. When he returned home, he told Sally that he didn't need Tricia to say sorry or admit what she did, because he knows in his heart what happened to him was wrong and that, for him, is what's most important. While Will and Tim partake the same experience, their stories have ended in different ways. Will has been heeded to and validated, and Megan has been charged. Tim, still, has been denied that recognition, due to Tricia refusing to take responsibility for her conduct. It's a discrepancy that highlights how society has surely moved forward, but not nearly far enough. Coronation Street's Daniel Osborne has been keeping a big secret, but tonight he was set up out by Jodie Ramsey. The schoolteacher told his father Ken Barlow he was headed to the Lake District for a break, but he has been intimately hiding out in his apartment. Meanwhile, Jodie has been asked to leave the road by David and Shona, with David persuading his woman that her family brings nothing but trouble. With nowhere to go, Jodie snuck into Ken's house and eavesdropped him say that Daniel was going down for a many days. After stealing Ken's key to Daniel's house, tonight Jodie let herself in, not knowing that Daniel was still there. Daniel was shocked to find Jodie standing in his home when he surfaced from the restroom and snappily caught on that she had been planning to stay in his home while he was away. While Daniel originally told her to go, Jodie managed to move him to let her stay after telling him that she had nowhere to go because effects were complicated with David. Soon the brace were sitting together having a converse, with Daniel opening up about his problems at work and the fallout from his relationship with Megan. Jodie told Daniel that David came on to her and he'd prevaricated to Shona about it, telling his woman he would mistaken Jodie for her. When Jodie also said she was going to find a hostel, Daniel offered to let her stay the night, saying he wouldn't mind her company. Is Daniel the coming target for Jodie's colluding? Demurred out of the Platts, Jodie Ramsey is in hopeless need of a new sucker on Coronation Street. Along comes Daniel Osborne. Has she met her match? The bunny, boiling baddie has made a boo-boo. Months of careful designing, inveigling her way into her family Shona Platt's house to steal her family went up in bank thanks to one stupid mistake. Jodie's laggardly burn plan to discipline Shona for running down from home as a teenager and abandoning her to their dysfunctional parents was starting to work. She was undermining Shona as a mama at every turn in the eyes of their son Lily, while getting far too cozy with her family's hubby David Platt. But also Jodie made a textbook book mistake, pretending to be her family to bait her hubby into bed. Reeling with treason to discover that Shona had prevaricated about trying to reach out when they were kiddies, Jodie snapped in a moment of rage and took her family's phone, harding a kittenish textbook from David which suggested they make the utmost of having the house to themselves. Also, she awaited in Shona's bed, wearing Shona's lingerie and Shona's incense, for a crapulous David to stumble home into the darkened bedroom, and also she kissed him. That's when everything went pear-shaped. It turns out that indeed after a skinful of champagne, David was suitable to tell the difference between his own woman and his crooked family-in-law. Cue a huge fight where Jodie tried and failed to make David look a dirty cheater. No surprises, Jodie was transferred packing right before she mysteriously faded. Naturally, David confessed the whole Jodie, pretending to be his Mrs. debacle to Shona, who was accessible more concerned with her family suddenly evaporating off the earth, presumably because of the goons that came looking for her lately. Sure enough, Shona's worst fears were verified when Kit Green told her that the police are treating Jodie's exposure as a hijacking. Fraught, she left a voicemail for her family, averring that the David drama doesn't matter as she just wants her to be okay. Cut to Jodie in firmament. Sat on the swings hearkening to Shona's communication and smiling at the cracks she'd put in her family's marriage. However, now Jodie's left with the problem of not having a roof under head. One which leads her to making a doubtful new supporter in forthcoming occurrences of Coronation Street. As luck would have it, she overhears Ken Barlow agitating Daniel Osborne's plan to visit the lakes and decides to indulge in a bit of light squinching, but when Jodie lets herself into Daniel's flat, she's shocked to see him there. But not as shocked as Daniel to see her there. Jodie pretends that she set up a spare key on the pavement and was returning it. Daniel doesn't buy it and orders her to sling her hook. Still, Jodie soon realizes that she and Daniel have commodity in common: family issues. The worried headmaster of Weatherfield High is presently coming to terms with being used by High's ex-girlfriend and fellow schoolteacher Megan Walsh, who is only dating him to conceal her sexual abuse of a pupil, Will Driscoll. It's affecting his job, causing him to blow up on Hope Stape when she made a snide comment about Megan in Academy. This redounded in Daniel's suspense from Academy. His plan to visit the lakes was just a cover story for his family to disguises the fact he's spiraling in the flat and drinking heavily. So Jodie takes advantage of Daniel's secret pity party and threatens to tell his family that he isn't in the lakes unless he lets her crash there. Will Daniel agree? To keep him sweet, Jodie gets Daniel to open up a bit as she confides that he doesn't feel ready to face the world just yet. Jodie tells him that she ran into Cassie Plummer and makes out that Bertie is really missing his pater. So he needs to pull himself together. It's the turning point that Daniel's been crying out for only when he calls to collect Bertie from number 1. Daniel discovers that his little boy has been having the time of his life without him. Dispensable to say, when Daniel returns home, he hits the roof and blows up on Jodie for lying to him. Jodie tries to explain that she did it for his own good. Will Daniel soften? Daniel surely doesn't have the stylish track record when it comes to women. This tortured geek of seeking out misses in torture which nearly always ends in heartache. His woman. Sinead Tinker tragically failed of cancer, Daisy Midgley cheated on him, and his engagement to Bethany Platt fell piecemeal due to his moping connection to Daisy. But this isn't the first time that sparks have flown when Jodie and Daniel have crossed. Could we be witnessing the birth of? Coronation Street's Maggie Driscoll looks set to confess her darkest secret coming week, as her sweats to keep it retired spectacularly fall piecemeal. Ben still has no idea what really happened the night his father Alan failed, but High's ex-wife Melanie does, and she's using that information to blackmail Maggie. However, when Maggie fails to keep her end of the bargain and Will to Scotland to live with his mum, the gloves are out. Will Maggie take the chance to tell Ben the verity before Melanie exposes her? This secret could blow piecemeal Maggie and Ben's relationship ever, warns our Corrie bigwig. He has only just discovered that Jim MacDonald was his natural father, but now Maggie might have to tell him that she pushed Alan down the stairs, causing his death. It's not just the crime that is insupportable, but the lying too. Maggie would do anything not to come clean. There is no mistrustfulness that Ben's designing mama has been good at covering her tracks so far, but Melanie holds a trump card. Maggie's shaken when Ben tells her that Melanie has called, and she panics about what has been said. As she considers her options, Maggie starts to wonder if the only way to salvage her family is to take control of the narrative and tell her story her way. But it's a massive adventure, and Maggie is not sure if this is the right move. Will she go ahead and break Ben's heart, or find another way to cover the terrible verity? Maggie's dark secret was exposed in a special flashback occasion late last time, which showed the moment that she pushed Alan down the stairs. The scene in question revealed that Maggie's youthful boy Finley witnessed the violent struggle. Melanie has since revealed that Finley participated the secret with her. "I am veritably near with Finley," Melanie told Maggie last week. "He is no way got over what happened. Alan's accident. He saw it. The drive, not a fall. He still gets flashbacks. PTSD, presumably." Evil Megan Walsh eavesdropped this discussion and took the occasion to record it, piling indeed more pressure on Maggie to come clean.